Hello and welcome to the Build with Bear workshop. My name is Pat Bear. I'm here to build a model kit. I'm also here to hang out with all of you. And I'm going to kick things off by throwing the Bear Cave, the Lego, the site, the tier 2 blue emote in chat. If you are currently a subscriber, you can reply with those emotes. If you're not yet a subscriber, you can say hi. You can use other people's emotes. If you feel like being a lurker, just go ahead and lurk. That's also okay. I won't think anything of it. It is currently a Monday evening and the agenda is model kit. Working on this model kit. Hello, Ghost Valve. We've got the Sergeant Verde Buster Gundam DX set that we're working on. Not Degeneration X, just DX. It's got a ton of stickers. It is a chibi kit with a lot going on. I had lost a part from it at the end of last night's or Saturday night stream. I found it immediately. It flung over my shoulder and ended up on the bed behind me. Hello, Lashbrook. But I was able to track that down and find it no problem. Thankfully, it was very easy to find, and I figured out what I was doing wrong. I was doing something wrong with the chest, and I figured that out. And then I also put on 2 stickers on the waist that I forgot to do during the stream. Hey, Lord Crashington, welcome. So yeah, so I got that going, which is great. That's looking good. I don't have like any overarching thing to chat with you tonight about, but we'll get into it. Let's right now go to the overhead camera. Here's the overhead camera. You can see we got the head here, and the chest has been completed. Basically, I was putting on this back piece upside down, which is why the connector here of the like stomach area wasn't linking up properly with this, is because it was upside down. This was upside down. So I figured that out. Now it all fit together. We're not done with the chest yet. There's still, I'm sorry, yes. We have to put the stickers that go on this front piece on, and then there's a piece that goes on over it. So we'll get into that. We still need, the final chest piece here. But I can't put this piece on until I do the stickers need to go on it. So we'll do that as well. I hope you're doing well here on a Monday. I'm doing just fine. This time of year is kind of, how would I describe it? Breezy's not the right word for it. I don't have a ton of things going on all the time these days. A lot of my work stuff kind of dries up. My freelance stuff that I do kind of chills out because it's the time of year. Now, part of it is just because it's December and things get kind of light and not as busy. But another reason why things are slowed down a bit for me is just literally because of some of the work that I do. A lot of the work that I do, I should say, not some of, a lot of the work that I do, data entry stuff, is to work on other people's projects for like boardroom presentations or conventions or things like that. I work for a company that does that work for people. Let me see and make sure I'm doing this right. Okay, yeah. And guess what? People's budgets are done by now. The freelance budget, they ran out of money for that kind of stuff. And also, most people don't have things like these kind of business meetings and such. Generally, people don't have a lot of those before like the second week of January. Like generally, they just don't. Oh shit! That sticker just ripped apart. That's fun. How does this? The sticker is supposed to fold and stick in. It's so weird. I don't know how this sticker would work right. I think now at 9:09 p.m. Eastern time, this is the soonest in a stream where I have complained about the stickers situation. That's a new record for me. But I just don't know how you would put this sticker in properly. I could do it like that. All right, I can do it like that. And then I need to put this tail in that fell off here in. But yeah, what was I saying? Oh yeah, So yeah, I don't have a lot on my plate as far as that. I get a lot of things together. There are still applications I could put out there looking for work and stuff like that. There are still people who reply to emails at this time of year. Now, what will end up happening is the first week, let's see, because the first is on a Wednesday, right? So Thursday the 2nd, I will get like 3 projects that will be due like that Monday, because people will suddenly realize that it's January. They now have a new budget, and also they have presentations due, or they have projects or whatever, and then convention season really kicks off. And so I will have a bunch of work to do then. But right now it's pretty dead. I think I have like 2 things due next week. Bayfu just subscribed with Prime. Thank you so much for that. Appreciate that. Let's throw the Bear Cave Lego site tier 2 blue emote in chat. Thank Bayfu for their support. It means a lot. Appreciate you. Thanks for jumping in. Thanks for using your Prime gaming token. Very kind to you. So yeah, I just like this week is basically a thing that I end up doing this time of year when things are kind of light with those projects is I start planning ahead, right? Like, I haven't filmed the thing that will come out a week from tonight, the last, Pat Bear's Anime Club, my anime top 10 for 2024. Like, I don't have that done yet. I will have that done. I just don't have that done yet. Because I'm waiting for the last episode of Dandadan to come out, because Dandadan is on. Hey, Dandadan is one of my top 10 anime of the year, but where is it on the list? I kind of want to see if it ends with a cliffhanger, which I think is fine. If it's a quick resolution to Gigi, if we get a turn and we get like a sense of like what's going on with this character, like what is episode 12 of this show gonna look like? And once I know that, it'll be easier for me to rank it properly. I basically have everything else but that kind of figured out, but that changes it, right? Like, okay, well, if the last episode is fucking killer, then boom, that jumps up higher than if it was like disappointing, and then maybe it's in the middle. I don't know. So I have to figure that out. But I at least know everything else. I have my PowerPoint done for it. Really, it's a Google slideshow that then it's exported to PDF, but you know what I'm saying. I have my slides for it set up. I just need to get the ordering right, but all the work is done, and then I just have to record it this weekend. The last 2 Kuma Baer for this year are done, and that's ready to go. I have I'm not even recording it until January, but I have a rough outline of what the 3rd episode of Pat Bear's Wrestling Club is going to be, which again, I don't know when that's going to air in January, but I like have an idea of what I would do for the next episode. So I had to get these stickers on, and that sticker was a pain in the ass, and then you barely see it because there's armor that goes over it, but it does look cool. The gold behind that does look pretty neat. A little hard for you to see, but just okay, you can kind of see in the light there. It does look pretty fucking rad. So that was worth the trouble. But now we're done with the chest and the head, so we can snap the head. Oh, wait. Wait a second. That head doesn't fit on quite right there. Weird. I'm doing something weird with that. Let the head go back all the way? Uh-oh. Well, that's weird. The head doesn't really sit on here. It should snap in, but the back of the head is kind of giving me trouble. That's weird. Well, I guess it does. Okay. So it does fit on. It just barely fits on, and there's no wiggle room. It will just pop up. Yeah. Okay, so the head barely fits on. That's weird. I imagine we're going to have the head popping off now and again, which will be annoying. All right. So we've got the waist done, we got the chest done, we got the head done. This kit is kind of coming together, so that's pretty neat. Other things going on with me as we move on to work on I guess we'll work on the left arm because that's right over here, and then we can do the right arm. If you're wondering, Pat, are there stickers on the arms? Yeah, of course there's stickers on the arms. And then we also have like all of the weapons. There's many weapons to build with this kit, so you know it's not like we're getting close to being done. I don't think I'm going to finish this stream or this kit on this stream because, as you may be able to notice, there are a lot of stickers left. So that's a pretty good indication of what we have left. And like I said, the weapons are pretty large, so we've got a lot going on with that. So let me find F and G1 and F. And then I'm going to need A as well. A is also serving as kind of like the polycap holder, although these aren't actual polycaps, but they're similar. So we need that, and then we need A9 for the arm here. Other things going on with me. Yeah, like I said, I'm getting prepped for some videos, getting that stuff together. I did as I said, this week I don't have a lot going on, so it allows me to prep for things for the future, and I can kind of think ahead a little longer than I normally get to do. So one of the things I'm doing is prepping for my subathon, which is January 31st, starting at 3:30 p.m. Eastern, running until like 7:30 p.m. Eastern, probably, maybe 8 o'clock Eastern, but probably not much beyond that because I have my limits and I'm aware of my limits. But yeah, my subathon where I will attempt to acquire as many subscribers as possible through good times and good vibes and content. I'm starting to prep for that. I know what a couple of my segments are already, like things that I'll do in it. Like right now I have listed first time karaoke. These will be karaoke songs that I've never done on stream before. I thought that would be fun. And that people would dig that. So that's an easy first one. Also, I am going to make a new version of myself in WW2K24, and then that version will fight the previous version of me. Because I thought that would be a fun bit of business. And then I thought I would do a Lego build. I have a monster truck. It is a small thing. I've never done any model kit or Lego building on one of my streams like that. One of my subathon streams, I should say. Obviously, I've done model kit building before. You know what I mean by that. But I haven't done that on stream, so I was like, oh, that could be kind of fun. And then one of the other ideas I had was I usually show some wrestling. What if I showed my favorite wrestling match of 2024? So I thought I would, or one of my favorite wrestling matches of the year. It'll at that point a month been in, but I could show that. So I thought maybe I would do that. I thought that might be a fun element there. We show like one of my faves that would probably be outside of the United States because there are a couple companies out there that don't seem to mind or understand if you show some wrestling on Twitch. So we'll see. But that might happen. Again, I don't know. All of that is subject to change. All of that is, like my own interest in what I'm going to do. I might have some brilliant ideas that will fundamentally change what the stream is going to be. I don't know. And then the WW2K24, I might have some more incentives in that besides just Pat designs a new Pat and faces the old Pat. There might be a few other things that end up in there. Okay, so I need to put a sticker on here, and then I need to put a sticker on here. So let's do those two stickers right now. As I said, of course, there are still stickers. This is sticker 16, and that is sticker 14. 16 should be up around here somewhere. 14 is this one, so I can find 14. I found 14 first, so let me get that. All right, here's sticker 14. And that goes here. They made that easy. The perfect spot for this sticker. Oops. Would not come off the X-Acto blade, which is frustrating. But fine. So yeah, I'm thinking ahead about a bunch of stuff. I'm already thinking about like what I'm going to do in January for some Tuesday streams. I know that we'll have to check out like Pokemon. We'll do Pokemon in January. The Pokemon Black randomizer. I'll continue that. I will probably do a stream where I what would I do? What would I do in there? I had it in my head. We'll probably do a stream where we check out more of the Jackbox Survey Scramble because they add some stuff to that. So we'll probably end up doing that. And then also, I think I'll probably January there should be new cards for Hearthstone. The mini set should be out in January. So doing a Hearthstone stream, taking a look at some of the silly decks that I've made in there because I have not done a Hearthstone stream in this expansion. So I figured like, oh, I could do that, and that would be fun. So I'll probably end up doing that. 16. Need to find 16. There's 17, 18, 19, 20. I got that out there. You think 16 will be right near all these other ones with the same kind of numbers, but you never know. All right, there's 16. Wait. That's got to go on. Okay, yeah. All right, it's this big sticker here. Okay, got it. I was like, I don't know. 16 is here. Oh, shit. That sticker just ripped in half, so that's fine. We'll make it work. But yeah, I went to peel that sticker out, and not all of it came with it, so that's weird. You can see it right there. So I will be careful when I do the other sticker of this one. But I'm going to start with the small piece that got torn off and get that situated. So we'll get that on there, and then we'll do the other piece that came off here, which is going to go right there. Yeah. Okay. So yeah, when I do the other shoulder, I will just be careful of this sticker because not all of it came up at once. And that's probably good for me anyway. That's like a good lesson to remind myself that I need to be a little slower when it comes to removing stickers on this because these feel a little fragile. And the fact that it's ripped won't even be noticeable because we're going to put this piece of plastic over it anyway, so you would never know. And then that goes like that. Yeah. Oops, why does this fly right off? I think this piece just came right the fuck off. There it goes. It's got to really snap on there. Okay, it's snapped on there. Not much movement in these arms, but that's okay. And then that can go on there. Okay. So we got one arm done. Well, I guess we can panel line this hand here. This kit doesn't need much panel lining, but we can get a little bit done. As far as like other stuff I want to talk about here, over on Blue Sky, there was a conversation going around about how much it used to cost to buy anime. And that comes up every now and again. And like, as I get older and look, I'm not trying to be an old man about it, but it is a thing. And I try to like remind myself of these things. As I get older, more and more people who are enjoying videos or anime, I should say, are watching it on streaming services. And they don't buy it. Now there's still people that are buying Blu-rays, right? but that's different to me because that's secondary home video purchases of a thing that like airs somewhere else, and you want the better version, you want the Blu-ray release, you want the bonuses, you want the physical media because of nostalgia for the thing. And I understand that. Lurkin, okay, sure, enjoy laundry. Thanks for the heads up. But like, so this post that I saw there was Kenny Lauderdale says, there was a time when Suncoast Video was selling the Trigun DVD box set for $280 plus tax. This may seem insane or like I'm misremembering things, but I swear to you, this is what anime used to cost. You have no idea how good you have it. And then someone had retweeted that and said, reskeeted that and said, this is something every anime fan of a certain age knows, but official anime releases used to be so damn expensive. When the first subtitled Ranma 1/2 VHS came out, it was about $40 for one VHS. According to Inflation Calculator, that'd be like paying $85 in 2014 for only 3 episodes. And that is true. That is legitimately true. If you weren't there for that time, it was hard. Sometimes you would just buy a VHS tape of an anime because it looked good. Like you read the description and you were like, well, hope this doesn't suck ass. And sometimes it did suck ass. Sometimes you bought Silent Mobius and you got 3 episodes on a VHS tape and it's terrible. And you're like, God fucking damn it. Well, I'll ask my friends if any of them want to borrow my terrible VHS tape that I purchased. Maybe they want to watch a you anime that I don't like. Fuck. But that was it. That was the price you paid. Because you hoped that you could get the thing that you were looking for. Which was good anime. When the Cowboy Bebop DVDs came out, this was at a time where I had a DVD player. I got a cheap DVD player that was like region cracked, so I could play like UK DVDs basically, and also like Hong Kong DVDs and stuff. Also, not every DVD player when they first came out played busted ass bootleg or recorded, like DVD-Rs. Not every DVD player played DVD-Rs or played them well. So I had that. I also, with my PlayStation, I had an attachment that let me play VCDs. It basically processed the VCD discs on there because it wouldn't natively play VCDs. So I would get some stuff through VCDs. So I would get these Cowboy Bebop DVDs. They would have like 3 or 4 episodes on them. I think there were 3 episodes and bonus material. In Japan, there was a thing called Episode 0 for Cowboy Bebop. Episode 0 was just a bunch of like interview snippets and like clips from the show. And it was a VHS tape that came out before the anime aired in Japan. It was a promo tape. And so basically the extras for the DVD were that VHS tape broken up into 4 DVDs, like across 4 DVDs. So you bought the DVD, you got a couple episodes, and you got this bit of old like promotional material. That was your extras. So I got the DVDs. I got a bunch of the DVDs, and then I would just, sorry, I had to scratch my arm there. I had the DVD player, right? I had my little DVD player that was cracked so I could play a bunch of different things. I also had a TV VCR combo. So what I would do was hook up the DVD player, right? Of course. And then play the episodes and hit record on the VCR, which would just record whatever was on the TV. And that's how I made sure I got whatever we needed for people so they could also enjoy the anime. And then I would just, the VHS tapes would go trade around my friends. Some of who had DVDs, but it was easier just to tape trade that or put put it out in circulation. But also, Some of my friends didn't have DVD players, so that was the easiest way to watch that stuff. But yeah, I did a lot of like go over to my friend's house with my DVD player, or sorry, with my VHS and my VCR, and then hook it up to his like really nice VCR, and then play a VHS tape on his VCR and record onto my VCR because he had the gear, but his other like at the time his other VCR died, so I had to bring my VCR over in order to do that, to get the tapes that we needed because we needed them tapes. Lasper says 280 for Trigun is wild. I think by the time I was in college, DVDs had gotten down to like 180 to 200 for 26 episodes, which is still wild. Yes. So that's the thing, right? If people did, here's the real thing is people weren't buying the Trigun box DVD box, right? All the time. They were buying them one at a time, you know? Because you wanted the episodes, because you didn't want to wait for the box set to come out. You wanted to see the show you liked when you could see it. So you were stuck, and you had to spend the goddamn money to get that shit and buy them as they came out. It was a goddamn nightmare, but it's what we did because we wanted to see stuff. And that's why there was a lot of tape trading and a lot of copies being made and all of that. That's why fan subbing was such a big deal. That's why nowadays, if a show does not get if an anime does not get a release internationally and gets a subtitle, right? People will do a fan sub. Early on in fan subbing culture, you were doing it as a volunteer basis. You were doing it because you wanted to learn more about Japan or Japanese, or you wanted to do that. You lived in Japan, and so you were sending stuff home to friends and doing that. Or you had people who were benefactors of your fan sub group, right? Like you didn't charge for VHS tapes, but people but people might buy you the originals. They might buy a DVD later, or a VHS tape, or a laser disc of some anime, and then, or you'd be like, hey, I have someone in Japan who will send me, it's taped off TV, this is Dragon Ball taped off TV, and they will send me the raws, but I need to pay for postage and a little bit of money to do it. And people would do that. And then sometimes people would be like, hey, I will, like, I know you don't charge because, like, you're not a group that charges, but I'm going to send you 100 blank VHS tapes. That is how I am going to support this group, or all that. Or you would go to, if you did not know where to find groups, if you did not have a hookup for that, if you were not getting that, from your friends, and you weren't trading tapes like that, then you were going to some stores that sold shit. Comic book shops would sell some things, like in the same place that you would find the Corman bad, terrible, made so they could keep the license, awful Fantastic Four movie, right? Or cartoons that didn't get a VHS release legally in the United States, but ended up somewhere else if somebody is making bootlegs and all that. Like, you would find that. You would also find fan subs there. And then maybe you knew a mall kiosk where you could buy, sorry, I'm just going to check this out here. Okay, that's fine. That's an email. I don't need to work with that. You would go to a mall and you would find just a wall full of tapes. Like, maybe it was a kiosk that also sold martial arts VHS tapes or something like that, but they also would have anime. And you'd be like, how do you have this? How do you have all this Card Captor? And it's subtitled? Oh, it's fan subs. Oh, somebody out there is got a back room where they are recording over fan subs, and they're taking fan subs, and the fan sub group hates it, and they're trying to stop it because these people are running a business, but you don't know anybody, and you want to see the next episode of Dragon Ball, or the next 3 episodes of Dragon Ball, so you're buying that VHS tape, and you're going to deal with it. The big thing ended up being the first DVD coming with a box to house the rest of the series. They still sell the first volume of the series with a box to get you to buy the rest of them. Lord Crashing, I don't think they do that anymore. I think they release it all at once or seasonally, and you get a seasonal box. They don't do like, as far as I know, home release doesn't do like, here's the first 4 episodes. They do like, here's the first season as like 3 DVDs or 2 Blu-rays. Estwile says, yeah, one of my first was seeing a VHS subbed Macross. I think a lot of them were being done out of the Singapore area back then, local Saturday market kind of places. Yes, that was the other thing, right? If your mall or your dirt mall, if your secondary mall didn't have a place that sold stuff coming out of Hong Kong and Singapore, where you had like clearly burned CDs, like these were shrink wrapped CDs that were like anime soundtracks, but the back was clearly low quality and definitely like there was no insert in it. It was just the back and then the CD and then the cover. Those were bootleg, but you're like, well, how else am I going to get the Berserk soundtrack if I don't get it here at this mall kiosk? When I worked at an import store, we were just in the mall. We just opened, they had a store in the mall and it sold Hello Kitty stuff. And we had that in the display in the front so that people could come in and get lured in by that, by the Hello Kitty. And then we had a wall of VHS tapes and we sold some DVDs. Like towards the end of me working there, you could get like the first season of Initial D on one DVD and it was like piss quality and bad fan subs. I always talk about the Yu-Gi-Oh! A Duel Monsters stuff where they would translate the names. So it would be like, Dark Game, what are you doing here? Instead of Yami Yugi, because they were just literally translating it because it was just like the worst shit. But you spent like $15 for like all, or $15 or $20 for all of G Gundam, including the one episode that didn't get dubbed. And you're like, well, now I can watch G Gundam whenever the fuck I want. So this is a win for me. But yeah, by the time I worked in that, we had a store where the wall scrolls were real. The action figures were real. The model kits were real. The CDs were not real. The DVDs were not real. And by real, I mean officially licensed and going to support people. We never got into the t-shirt game, which was always a bummer. Because the t-shirt game was like, there wasn't money in shirts, but it would have been cool if we sold merch, like shirts and stuff like that. And all the Sanrio Hello Kitty stuff, that was all legit and real, because we were not gonna worry about Sanrio. But yeah, I worked in the import store and had a good time working there. It was a fine business, except when it wasn't. The worst part, as I've said many times, the worst part of working at that was not the customers who were, my customers were like high school kids that knew exactly what they wanted, and 20-somethings that were like interested and like trying to like find some stuff or trying to find like a one episode of something. We had a lot of like younger people coming in with their parents for like whatever. There was a girl that when her grades were good, she would get card captor Sakura tapes or card captor tapes if she was keeping her grades up. We had model kit builders who would come in and always ask if we had any like tools, and we never sold tools. We only sold the kits, but I knew a hobby shop where they could go to buy the tools. And I was like, some of our kits are going to be cheaper than theirs, but hey, don't tell my boss I told you where to go to buy that stuff, and please keep buying kits from us. But like they would ask for that, and we didn't sell any of that. Those stores opened my eyes to a world I had no idea existed. Honestly, would never have been able to get a lot of awesome things. Totally. I mean, at the time, right? Like, or even just like, what if you were like, I want to play the Game Boy Advance Yu Hakusho game or the Game Boy Color Yu Hakusho game? I can't remember which one. Like, I want to play that. How do I do that? Oh, you have a region-free version of the game? Okay, I've never even seen this game before, but all right, like, whatever. Uh, no, Lord Crash didn't. There was I can't remember. I can't remember which one it was. It might have been the strategy RPG. I don't know. But there was a UU game for a handheld, and we sold that. We sold a few like import games. Import games didn't sell for us because we didn't have that audience. They would have sold, I think other people would have done better with it than we would have. All right, I'm going to need stickers soon, but right now I just need F7. But we didn't truck too much with that. I think it was the top-down action game, Lord Crashington. I think it was that one. I don't remember. But we did sell some. I remember somebody bought an import Dreamcast from us, and like one copy of every Dreamcast game we had, including the Love Hina dating game, which is a fucking Otoma game. I said to this person, I was like, hey, this game, easy enough. That game, easy enough. This one's all text and some images. It's a dating game. I didn't know Otoma game at the time. I'm like, it's a dating game. And he was just like, yeah, that's fine. I was like, okay, sure. Please don't try to bring this back because I don't work on commission, but also if I say I did really well, they might forgive me for being lazy sometimes, which I was at the time. But yeah, I ended up towards the end of working at that job. I recorded. I would finish up. I would close one night. If I was closing a night and then opening the next day, I would take home DVDs to copy them overnight and run them and copy them, or rip them overnight later because they were easy to rip. So I would do that. I would also copy CDs. I would take the display, like the listening to in the store copy, which was also the case then was the display version. I would take that and I would take those CDs home like a few at a time and copy them instead of purchasing them, of course. There was a bunch of stuff where I did that where I would just be like, yeah, I'm gonna just go and grab this. All right, now where does this go? How does this work? That job was fine. It did not pay well, but I also didn't need a lot of money at that time. It paid my gas bill, and that was the most important thing to me at the time, was that my gas bills get paid, because I was just killing time because I was in between things when I worked there. I was desperately in between things, desperately trying to figure out what I wanted to do with my life, and it turns out that working there was not what I wanted to do with my life, but it was pretty cool. It was a pretty cool place to work when I did not have many responsibilities. I was living at home, and I was preparing to move to New York to pursue comedy. So it was fun to have a weird little job like that. This is odd. I got a clear piece here, but I'm going to put a sticker over part of it. That's weird, but that it required. Weird, but required. But yeah, I did that for a really long time. Also, eventually we moved. We had 2 stores in 2 different malls, and eventually we moved out of a mall, which was awesome. And then my hours changed because we could open later, which was fine by me. And then we stayed open a little later some days, and that was also fine by me. We were next door to a pizza place, and that was great. I missed mall food, but I enjoyed very much having sudden access to good pizza right next door. That I would just like close the shop for a minute, walk over. But also, I was just the only person in the store during the week. On weekends, we had more people, but during the weekdays, it was just me, which meant that I just watched anime all day. We had a TV VCR on the desk that, on the counter, I should say, that the plan for that was so you could test your VHS tape to make sure it was working. So I just put anime in there to quote unquote test them. And then I would just watch anime on the clock. And then I would sometimes I got brazen and I would pause the tape. I would eject the tape when people came in, when customers came in. I would eject the tape because I was like, oh, done testing that. But sometimes I would just let it play until people would like, and just turn the volume down of it. And you know, if somebody came by to ask me a question. But yes, I got pretty brazen with it. Lord Crescent Research, yeah, I got pretty brazen with it towards the end because I kind of stopped caring about that job. I know they revamped. They had moved into a different place. I can't imagine it's still open these days, but I remember a few years after I was done working there, they were trying to transition into a place where you could like booths, like rooms where you could like little divided area where you could watch stuff and get food, and they would have like basically they tried to turn themselves into an internet cafe, like a Japanese style cafe, but not 24 hours, so you don't have people without housing who are living there, or college students, or people who like they got kicked out of their a hotel or something and need a place to stay, so they're just going to get the 8-hour stay at a internet cafe and get some manga and do that. But you could borrow, read manga, do a bunch of stuff. That idea, I was like, this is a great idea, but not for the town you're running it in. Like, you're just never going to get the number of people coming through here that you need to sustain that business. So I don't think that ever really worked. But basically, anime just got easier and easier to get. Honestly, torrents really killed the fan sub business as it was. One thing I did when I left that job, and I was hoping to watch some more anime. When I first, I've told a lot about New York. I've talked about New York a lot. One thing I don't think I ever talked about in regards to me in New York is the fact that when I first moved to New York, I didn't have internet in my very first place, which is wild to think about. But this was the year 2000. I didn't have internet for the first couple months that I lived in New York. I was renting a room, $100 a month, renting a room. So I had obviously access to the bathroom and all that, and access to the kitchen, which I didn't use that often, but I did. I mostly made lunch and then bought my dinner every night because I was only there for like 3 months. So it was $100 a month and no internet access, not even dial up, right? If I was still paying for AOL at the time, like, I still couldn't even use AOL because that was just not an option. So I went to internet cafes. There were still internet cafes in New York. There was one on 42nd Street. It was across from the arcade, which is now a Dave & Buster's, that area around there. But there was, I think it's still Dave & Buster's there. But anyway, there was an internet cafe. So I would go to the internet cafe after work and school, and then go home. And I was going to American Academy of Dramatic Arts, so I would go into school, and they had a library in the basement, and there was a computer, so I would check my email on the computer before classes started. And so I didn't watch any TV, and I had brought some DVDs with me. I had a computer for writing stuff up and all that, but I didn't have internet access in the year 2000, like not even dial up. And I didn't have TV or anything, so I was like buying DVDs, and I found some bootleg places, but none of them were quite that great. But what I ended up finding was a friend of mine was like, "There's a guy in San Francisco. He's in college. He's got a T1 internet connection, and all he does is torrent any fan sub he can find. And you can pay him. Here's the website. You can pay him to send you CDs with DivX files on it. So what I had to do was I had to download onto a CD DivX player updates like all the time. I had to burn a CD with DivX player updates because I wasn't hooked up to the internet on my computer because I didn't have a laptop or anything. And and keep that up to date. And sometimes eventually he started sending out updates on the discs because Media Mail had come out. I don't know if y'all remember Media Mail, but you could send like a floppy or a CD for fucking cheap. So he would get like paper sleeves and a CD and put it in an envelope and send it Media Mail, and you paid for postage plus like a processing fee, and you could wait until there was enough episodes of a show that you liked for there to be a new CD and order the CD, and you would do customs, or you could just order whatever's coming out. So I would do that. I would get whatever's coming out, and if there was an episode on it I liked, I would then go and buy the back issues of it, or the back CDs of it, and be like, all right, well, I watched episode 13 of I don't know what. Handmaid May. I don't think the timing lines up for Handmaid May, but that's around the time. I just watched episode 7 randomly of Handmaid May. That seems pretty great. So hey, let me get that. Or like, yeah, some drama. I watched a bunch of stuff I never would have because I was so starved for having anything to watch that I like picked up weird shit. All right, G4 and G210. So I can get G4 out of here. Our feet here are just one piece, which is weird, but makes sense for Chibi. Yeah. And then, yeah, I can't remember the names of some of them, but dramas. I watched some dramas I never would have at the time checked out, like coming of age high school dramas. I never would have checked those out at the time, but I was so starved. So eventually I was just getting the like, hey, whenever you have a disc full, just send it to me program. And I would pay by postal money order because this was before PayPal. Or PayPal probably existed, but like I didn't know about it, right? So I would like I would just send out like whatever he needed, like whatever you need to make this happen. Here's the cost of some of these discs in a postal money order. Enjoy, because I didn't want to waste my personal checks. So I'd have to go to the post office all the time and be like, I need 4 postal money orders for this amount of each. God, my post office where I had my P.O. box fucking eventually grew to hate me because I've talked about this before on stream, I know. I had an eBay business. I would buy action figures and stuff in Chinatown and then sell them on eBay. And then when KB Toys was going out of business, I bought anything anime related. I used to know about, you would find out like what's coming up on Cartoon Network or what's coming up on Adult Swim. Something's coming out on Adult Swim, and then I would just buy whatever I could of it because I knew that folks in the Midwest, because that's all of my customers were in the Midwest, they weren't getting anime figures. They weren't getting like Vash the Stampede figure made by Todd McFarlane's toy company. They weren't getting that Vash, but I got them at KB Toys for a song. And I was marking them up. Oh, man, I was doing good. That eBay business did really good. And then, especially once PayPal was a thing, and I didn't have to worry about checks or personal money orders or cash. People would just put an envelope with like a folded piece of paper, notebook paper, and cash, and be like, stop sending me cash. I said money order made out to this person. But they would send you cash. Oops. That all came apart. That was hilarious. That all fucking fell apart real fast. That went really well. Would get disc that you could get episodes of Utaban back when they would have morning Musume girls on all the time. Oh yeah. Yeah, I mean, like, you just figured it out. You found ways to get the things that you wanted to get, and who would send you out. But yeah, I had an eBay business, and I did real well with that. Oh, it was a variety TV show. Okay. Oh, okay, so you would get episodes of the variety show because it had people on that you wanted to... see characters on that you want to see and stuff like that. Yeah, makes sense. I did that for a very long time, and like I said, that business went well. When eBay and like PayPal and eBay were the same thing, that really opened up stores. But then eventually, regular stores in the mall started selling more anime bullshit. And so my business kind of dried up a little bit. And then the real thing that killed it was when eBay started doing percentages. Because they used to do flat rate. You have a flat rate for posting. And if your thing doesn't sell, you can post it again one more time. And then after that, you got to pay us money. And then they would do like, it used to cost, like the more images you had up, the more it would cost. Which was always weird. They needed more ways to make money, eBay. And then eventually they were like, percentage. We'll take a percentage. Once they started taking a percentage, that's when it kind of dried up for me. Things were not working as well then. Like it was just like there's no way to make the profits I was making before. It's not like I was rolling in cash, but I was doing all right running that business, that eBay business. But yeah, I did that for a long time. Constantly going to my P.O. box and mailing things out. Constantly buying money orders to do whatever. Or cashing money orders and all that. Yeah, that was a whole goddamn thing. But that was a good little business. I didn't talk about any there's not a lot of news to talk about. 7 people got laid off at a Danish video game studio, Flashbulb Games. They laid 7 people off, but there's not a lot of people to that company. And they halted development on an unannounced project. It's a small little place. They make sandbox games. Like vehicle builders and stuff. But yeah, again, there's not much news today to talk about. The next big wrestling show is on December 28th, or here in the States anyway, which will be World's End. I will not be watching that live, so I will be streaming on that Saturday. I really, really want wrestling companies to stop doing Saturday night wrestling pay-per-views and to go back to doing, or PLEs if you're a WWE. I'd like them to go back to doing Sunday shows for me, for Pat. That would be great for me personally if they would commit to getting back into that, because I don't want to miss Saturday streams. Semi-related hobby stuff. Have you seen the workers' strike at Vallejo Paint in Spain? No, I didn't see that. S. Wild. Dang. All right. Well, power to the workers. There is strength in numbers. But yeah, I did not see that. I don't pretend to know a lot about Spanish labor laws and such, but okay. Hell yeah. It was limited before Thanksgiving and became full afterwards. Yeah, okay. A lot of people talking about here. All right, yeah. 98% of workers at the factory are on strike. Okay, yeah. Oh, yeah, the usual is unsafe working conditions. Okay, yeah. 70, so almost all of, so that's about a little under 70 then, if it's 98%. Indefinite strike, partial strike in November, and they're not negotiating. Yeah, okay. And they're working with the Catalonian labor organization CGT. Hell yeah. I love this, right? So you're like, oh yeah, well, Pat, like we shouldn't mess with other countries and stuff and the culture and all of that. Vallejo Paint was incorporated in New Jersey in 1965 and then moved to Barcelona. So this is originally an American company that moved to Spain. So, you know, obviously local stuff, that's local and that's within their own, all of that. But like, it does have its origins in the United States. And of course, following a trend of private capital consolidation, private equity firm Proa Capital purchased a majority stake in Vallejo for just under $55 million in December 2023. Of course, of course, there's private capital involved. God damn it. Of course. Improvement of safety conditions at the factory. Earlier this year, the Spanish Council of Ministries raised the country's minimum wage. Roughly a 50% increase from Spain's minimum wage. Okay, and so they're looking for... representatives claim executive pay continues to grow with increased profits as employees' wages stay stagnant. Yeah. Oh, yeah. And workplace harassment. There is no protocols to handle, look, as always, friends, it is important to remember that HR is not your friend, that human resources, the resource they're talking about are you. It is not resources for humans. It is using humans as resources. But there still needs to be a chain of command and a place to put some reports where you are being heard, even if you can't fully trust them because they are there on the behest of your employers. It's still important to have those things in place. They have not called for a boycott explicitly, but they're saying, hey, if you don't want to buy stuff until this gets handled, then that would be fun. So, consider. That is in the same way, folks. In a couple minutes, I'm going to talk about my Amazon wish list in my Pause for the Cause, with the understanding that there is a location in New York where they have been on strike, and they are not calling for a boycott. But if you do not feel comfortable making purchases at Amazon, I totally understand. A factory or a work group of Amazon employees have had enough votes to unionize, and Amazon is fighting it as much as they can. They will not recognize it. They think it was all the obvious reasons why they wouldn't, and the way they're fighting it. But to say that it's not real or whatever. But yeah, I understand if people are like, Pat, don't want to do that. Like, totally understand if you don't want to go through Amazon. But they are not calling explicitly for a boycott. And if they did, then I wouldn't mention my Amazon wish list. But I always list alternatives as well, because it's nice to have alternatives to Amazon, which we will do in a minute. All right, we are now body complete on this kit. I have to put the rest of the front skirt on here. But yeah, the Verde Buster Gundam is built up here. I have done all of the... I do have to do one side piece here that I missed. I missed the side boot part. And then we'll move on to the other thing after. There's still a lot to do because we still have all of the many weapons that this kit has. We still have to apply all the weapons, but we are at least, at this point now, done with the body of it. All right, so let me go to the next section here, which is the bottom half of this, because there's also stuff over here. We still have the kind of there are a bunch of stickers here. Looks like they're optional stickers. Are these pieces that are included? Yeah. Oh yeah, there's extra stuff in here that goes on top of it, and then those have stickers that go on as well. So we will put all that stuff on there eventually. Although I think, yeah. The Buster Team Ground Unit equipment. I don't know what it is. Oh, hey, there's that sticker I couldn't find. It's the sticker I could... The missing sticker has been found, everybody. That's awesome. I don't know if I can apply it. It's got to go kind of under that. But I did finally find that missing sticker. It was stuck in between pages of the instruction booklet. So that's fun. Yeah, can I... Basically, I need to put this under where it is here so that it shows up like behind it. It's got to go like that. But I don't know if I can pop these apart here. I think we might just not do it. Yeah, I think we were just going to not do that. We're going to say, oh, we did find that sticker eventually, but it's not worth it to try to separate these two little pieces of plastic just to get that little thing in there. No one's going to notice. No one's going to know. Anyway, now is the part of the stream where I'm going to talk to you. That's right, you, about ways that you can support what I do here. We call this the Pause for the Cause. This is my opportunity to just kind of promote myself and what I'm up to and various ways that you can help me continue to do this stuff. Everything I'm about to talk about here is optional. You are under no obligation to do any of these things, but if you would like to, well, you could. First and foremost, if you're currently a subscriber to the Build with Bear workshop, you can throw the Bear Cave, the Lego, the site, the tier 2 blue emote in the chat. Being a subscriber is the easiest way to support what I do here through cash money or your Prime Gaming token. You could be like Bifu, or Beifu, I should say. Beifu, who used their Prime Gaming token because they have Amazon Prime linked with their Twitch account. They get that token. They can use that token for anybody. They chose, and this is awesome, they chose to use that token for me. Which is great. This is very fun. You could gift a sub. You could be like Aristofan and Mr. Kung Fu Grip and an anonymous person who all gifted subs to the community. That's really kind of them. You could cheer. We don't have any cheer on our cheerleader board. You could be the only name there. Reminder, don't use the app. Don't use the iPhone or the Android app to subscribe to anybody, including me. You want to go to the website and do that. I don't say that every stream, but I do want to occasionally remind people about that. That if you, okay, let me do this here. You follow the link, you open up in a browser. If you're going to sub, make sure you do it here and not through the Twitch app. Yeah. But there are other ways to support me, and I'm going to talk about those, and we'll keep it brief, and then we'll get back to building, and I'll talk about some anime. We got 2 episodes of Ranma 1.5 to talk about, and finally, my favorite minor character has arrived, so we'll get into that. But first, I got a Patreon, everybody. Patreon.com/PatBear. There's a $1, $3, $5, and $10 tier. There are different awards for the different tiers. Think about it, maybe joining me on Patreon. Over on the Patreon, there are different rewards for different tiers, as I said. You could become a $3 patron, and you get to vote on once a month what I do on my second Tuesday of every month, which is the Patreon Choice episode. You could be a $5, and you get all my video links a day early. You could be in the $10, and then you vote on what I build next. I'm going to put a poll up because I have 2 things in my backlog that were bought off my Amazon wish list. More on that later. And I build those things before I build other stuff. So if you want to decide one of the next 2 things, which I build first, you can, the $10 patrons are going to get that poll very soon. Also, I have a YouTube channel at youtube.com/PatBear. Over on my YouTube channel, you can subscribe for free, of course, and I would love for you to subscribe. That would be great. You could also become a member over there. For membership, that's just $2 a month. You get my Wednesday videos on Tuesday. So my Kuma Baer video series, you get to see that a day early. So if you signed up today, tomorrow you would get a video link in the afternoon. And so you'd be able to watch that before anyone else. You find out what the 3rd anime I'm recommending in my 90s recommendation series, which is what I'm doing all this month. There's a car alarm going off. Hopefully you shouldn't hear it. Oh, it's done. Anyway, great. But I can hear it. Let's see. Those are all monthly ways to support me. If you would like to support me just once in a while, like a tip jar kind of thing, I got a PayPal, I got a Ko-Fi. You can make a donation there. Everything I make through direct donations, which includes YouTube and AdSense there, direct donations, Patreon, and Twitch, all goes into a fund. And I take money out of that fund to buy model kits and Lego and various other things. I've got a bunch of stuff over there ready for me to build, but the thing I'm building right now, the Sergeant Verde Buster Gundam GX set, I'm building that because Aristofan bought that off my Amazon wish list. Aristofan actually bought 3 things off my wish list, and we'll decide what I'm doing next, either a Lego set or a Pokemon a Mega Construct set. We'll figure out what I'm going to build there soon. If you also would like to buy something off my Amazon wish list, here's the link. And of course, anything bought off the wish list jumps the queue. It becomes the next thing I build. I'm building this stuff now because Aristofan bought it. If you want to give me a Christmas gift, you could see about that, see if there's anything there that you would like to see added to this list. Model kits, Lego sets, gear. If you want to buy some gear, you could do that. Anything at all that you see there that you'd like to see me build, again, it'll jump the queue. And you get a dedicated YouTube video that I make called the Mailbag series, where I look at the stuff you bought and give you a shout out. You could also do it anonymously, if you just want to do that. But yeah, there's a bunch of stuff in there. Unfortunately, Amazon wish lists are still kind of borked, so I can't organize it, but you can sort by price, high to low or low to high or whatever. Or you can check out purchase to see what other people have purchased. If you wanted to do that. You could do that. You don't have to do that, but you could do that if you wanted to. Yeah, I think that's it as far as that goes. Is there anything else I need to say about Amazon? No. Oh, yeah, if you want to buy something, give me a Christmas gift, you could do that. Also, I have a Throne wish list. That is my alternative to Amazon. It is nice to have alternatives. My alternative to this is to have a wish list on Throne. And I have, of course, the most convoluted way to support me financially, if you are so interested, is going to USA Gundam Store. At USA Gundam Store, you buy a gift card. They will send you an email with that gift card code. Then you can send me a whisper here on Twitch, or a DM on Twitter or Blue Sky or Mastodon with that gift card code. I will then use that gift card code to buy something from USA Gundam Store. That is another way to support me. It is a kind of silly way to do it, but if you want to do that, it is an option. Consider it. Think about it. If you want to support me but not spend any money, you could always join my Discord. I post build photos at the end of every stream. People post stuff they're building or just stuff they're into. It is a nice little community. You are welcome to come join us over there on the Discord. A couple video links for you to check out. Pat Baer's Anime Club. I will have a new episode up next Monday, which will be my anime top 10 list for 2024. But right now, up there, I have my award show. That's right. I did my own personal anime awards, both positive and negative. You can find out what my favorite remake of this year is, or what my biggest personal disappointment is, because that's different than biggest disappointment. I don't know. There's a bunch of different categories and some fun stuff in there. Most obviously, based on a light novel, which is just my excuse to share with you a bunch of really long names of things that were adapted from a visual novel. And I love looking through the list of everything that came out this year and going, nope, that's not long enough. Not long enough. Oh, that's great. That says party twice in the same run-on sentence. Excellent. Oh, that says banished in it. Great. That's perfect, or whatever. Oh, it mentions levels. I'll include that. So take a look at that list. See if there's my award show. Check that video out. And then Kuma Baer is my weekly anime recommendation series. And for this week, I am recommending Dragon Ball Z, which I cannot say with a straight face. But it's true. That's what the video is. I have been recommending every week I recommend a new anime, and this month I'm doing my favorite stuff from the 90s, and I do have a couple. One of the four, which I've already done, is somewhat obscure. Not necessarily to anime fans. A lot of anime fans are aware of what Slam Dunk is, but like it doesn't have the foothold here that it did and certainly still does in Japan and many other countries around the world. But like it felt like the right tone to start with. Like, this is a classic 90s. The other three, including Dragon Ball Z, are just anime that I'm like, people know, but I still want to recommend my favorite anime from the 90s. And maybe you've just been like waiting for the right opportunity. Maybe me being like, hey, Hulu has Dragon Ball Kai if you want to watch the truncated one. And that's all it took for you to finally watch some Dragon Ball is my little push. And great. Dragon Ball Z, watch it. All right, I'm going to talk about 2 episodes of Ranma 1/2, episode 10 and episode 11. Finally getting done with this mini arc that I didn't really love, and then also getting into the next thing, which is my girl is arriving. It's time. Shampoo is making an appearance. But before we do that, I need to dramatically transition to the overhead camera because we gotta build some. I don't know what we're building next. I assume we're building some weapons. Yeah, I'm going to assume that I'm going to build a bunch of weapons. So I'll get into that. But before I can do that, we need to dramatically transition to the overhead camera. And I need to drink some water, and we'll do that right now. All right. I didn't do the cut and paste for that. Here, let me do that. Episode 10 of Ranma 1/2, Dragon Ball, of Ranma 1/2. So there has been fight skating. It's ice skating, but also ice dancing, but also fighting has been happening. As I go and start putting together some of these weapons here. Oh, I should say, these things right here are handcuffs. They attach together and they're handcuffs, so we're keeping them on there because this kid is such a cop, but like we'll kind of minimize a bit of some of the policeness. There's apparently a sold separately motorcycle, but we don't have that because again, the Trinity bike is sold separately. So we don't have that, but we'll get some of the guns together. One of these is just one-handed, and one of them is requires some building, which we will do. We need G1. Here's G1. Great. We'll get the guns put in here. So let's see. So we got a recap at the start. Like, I know I have just been kind of recapping what's going on here, but there's also some recapping going on by the narrator. Ranma is in his female form, so Ranma-chan, and she goes and yells at Mikado. Mikado is the playboy. Mikado is in this thing because he wants to either date Ranma or Akane or both. And he's a playboy and he sucks. And his fiance wants to win this because she has found this, that she named Charlotte. She found this pig and she wants to take ownership of the pig. And of course, we know that pig is Ryoga because he turns into a pig. And Akane is just starting to figure out that pig is the dude that wants to fight her fiance, that she's like not super thrilled about being engaged to, but also likes him more than she likes a lot of other fucking dudes around here. So that's where we're at here. Also, Ryoga and Ranma-chan like were doing the ice skating, and they can't really be on the same page, but they are often somewhat on the same page. They're trying to figure it out. They can somewhat coexist in wrestling parlance. uh, Ranma tells Mikado, like, hey, I don't like how you act with ladies. Now, the thing with Ranma is he says he doesn't like women, mostly because he doesn't like his mom. And it's very obvious. And the first couple episodes, he is a chauvinist in that he doesn't want to fight girls, but also he doesn't like when how shitty dudes act to ladies, including the ladies that he's familiar with. So he's like, definitely not as bad as some of these motherfuckers, but also like, all right, Ranma, like, I guess, but like maybe you should work on being a better dude before while you're dealing with all this. We're gonna put the gun here. You can hold that gun there, and then we can have one gun in this hand here. There was a sticker in this that you can barely see, but I can see it. It's there. Now let's build the shield, which is in here. This will be easy. This shield, amazingly enough, has 0 stickers. I'm very excited about that. Okay, so yeah, doesn't like it. Mikado thinks that Ranma is jealous. The JoJo precursor. No, I mean, a little bit, kind of. I mean, like, I'm a scumbag. I'm kind of a scumbag that needs to learn how to be a better person, but also I can recognize when other people fucking suck and they need to work on their shit. Is kind of Ranma's whole thing. It kind of is his whole deal. Where he's just like, no, but you need to do, like, I know that I'm not great, but you are very not great. Yeah, so there is a little bit of that with Ranma. Okay, so Ryoga, who is in human form, is trying to talk to this girl. It's like, hey, Pichon, which is him in pig form, but she doesn't know that. Like, just give it up. Just give up the idea of going after that. And Azusa is just like, fuck off. She didn't say fuck off, but she's basically just like, stop trying to keep me from my pig. Ranma as a girl again, is a Ranma-chan, and Ryoga develop a plan. And they scheme, because they're not either are like the best dudes, but they scheme and send Mikado into the water. Azusa, the girl, tricks them, so that their scam on her doesn't work. But then Ranma and Ryoga actually work together, and they send Azusa into the water next. But that's only a temporary thing. It doesn't solve the problems they have. Let me see what's next on here. Okay, so this is like the basic version of this, and then I have a lot of other additions to go on here for the DX set. So I will take a photo of this in this version, and then we will add more pieces to it and get fucking wild with it, because we still have the full package that we have to build, which is all just like big shoulder bullshit and big feet that gets attached to it and all of that that's attached to a backpack. We just got to put like a bunch of nonsense has to go on this, and also like a chain gun and some other shit. So let me take a photo of this, and we'll keep talking about Ranma 1/2, because we're only partway through this episode. So let's see. Azusa and Mikado are on the same page, even though, he's clearly trying to cheat on her constantly, but they have similar goals. There we go. There's my little friend. All right. Now I can work on all of the backpack parts of this. The many things and all of the stickers that will be required for this build as well. And have a lot of bullshit to make on here. Yeah, so let's start putting this together, the full package here. Okay. C2. Yeah, all of this that we haven't done any of this yet. 15 and 14. Is this one here? Great. Okay. So a lot of fighting. They're all on ice skates. Lots of fights here. Oh, and then also, Ranma and Ryoga were working together, and then they start fighting each other because, of course, they do. And then they, of course, don't want to fall in the water because one will turn into a pig and the other will turn back into a boy in front of everybody. So they don't want to fall in the water. They have to fight each other. And then also Mikado gets injured. Ranma ends up in the water. Mikado gets tended to. And then they have a disagreement, and she like fights him because she decided the blanket was cute and she wants the blanket. So they are a match made in heaven, and they're doing just fine. Mikado is definitely out. So Ranma and Ryoga get declared the winners. And then we have forgotten, it's not just water. Water turns him into a girl. Hot water turns him back into a boy. So he comes out of the water and he's a boy. And so it's fine. It would have turned Ryoga into a... sorry, let me find the piece I need here. This would have turned Ryoga into a pig, though. So it's fine that, he escaped. Ranma and Ryoga continue to fight each other, and then Akane tries to stop them, and they ignore her. Ryoga completely cracks the ice, and Akane falls into the water, and then they both jump in to save her, which turns Ryoga into Pichan, the pig form. So I don't know, I understand his instincts of, I want to help her, because I kind of have a crush on her, but also she is the fiance of the guy I hate, and it's fun to mess with her, to mess with him by being with her. But also hey dude, what are you going to do as a pig in the water? Just leave it to Ranma-chan in this case. So let's see what else happens in this episode. Oh yeah. Akane wakes up and everyone's around and they let her know what happened. And then there's a hole in the wall. And in comes a girl. My girl. Shampoo is here, everybody. She attacks, breaks through a wall, immediately attacks Ranma. Ranma throws a blanket to hide, and so Shampoo is unfortunately dumb as dirt and doesn't know where Ranma went, so she leaves. And then we have Ranma starts explaining what's going on with Shampoo, and coincidentally, we have a flashback of Ranma in the Chinese Amazon village. This is Ranma-chan in the village, because they are, of course, traveling, trying to figure out how to break this curse. They see a martial arts tournament, and we watch Shampoo win the tournament while Ranma is and his dad Genma in panda form eat some food that's just out there. Oh, this must be food for people, right? It's dick behavior. They just took food that didn't belong to them. That turns out that was the food that went to the winner. So Ranma gets attacked by Shampoo. And then Ranma's like, well, I'll fight you for it. If I beat you, it doesn't, it's kind of retroactive, basically saying well, if the winner gets this food, then I'll just be the winner. And there is a fight, and Ranma does defeat Shampoo to basically retroactively make it okay that he ate that food. And apparently, Shampoo develops a crush on Ranma. And then the travel guide who was guiding them around is just like, we gotta fucking go. Because that wasn't I have a crush on you kiss. That was the kiss of death. That was marking her for death. Because Shampoo wants to kill female Ranma. Ranma, Akane, and of course Ryoga as a pig still Pichon. They head back to the house, and guess who is there? Oh, of course, it is Shampoo. Because Shampoo saw the panda and followed the panda home. Now, apparently, Shampoo does not know that Ranma switches genders and just has it out for female Ranma, not regular Ranma. So Shampoo is just like, I recognize you. Bring out Ranma-chan. And Akane's like, no. And there's a bunch of fighting. And then Ranma accidentally completely knocks out Shampoo. And Shampoo gets completely taken out, which is seemingly accidental. I need E2, 8, and 9. Great. E2, 8, and 9. This is 9. Look, it's some color. This kit has a little bit of color to it. It's something we can panel line. It's the covers of the launchers here, but we can put a little bit of paint of marker on that. Let's see. Shampoo wakes up from being knocked out, and Ryoga, to be a dick, pushes male Ranma into Shampoo, and so Shampoo and Ranma share a kiss. Come on, Ryoga. This is rude. This is rude behavior. I know you blame Ranma, rightfully so, for your inability for you changing into a pig all the time. And it's like, yeah, that makes sense. But also, like, come on, dude. That's childish behavior. We finished the arc that I don't really like, so I'm very excited about that. And we have begun Shampoo times. I'm a big fan of Shampoo. I think this immediately, she does not seem racist right now. It could still happen. You have to understand, in the 90s, having a Chinese character is the equivalent of I don't know what the good equivalent of this is, but it's not good. If you have a Chinese character in a Japanese anime, it is probably a rough time. And Shampoo historically was like a bad caricature of Chinese folks. This one seems better pretty much immediately. Perhaps is the fact that the anime industry desperately relies on Japan or on China for animation. Perhaps that is we're living in a better time because of that. Who can say? But we are. This immediately seemed better. I love Shampoo because she just is very strong and kind of silly and goofy and occasionally very foolish. And I just think she's a fun character who, again, unfortunately, does not have the best portrayal in the source material. So we'll see if it gets a little bit better for her this time around. We shall see. C211. And I am missing one C211. Is that this piece here? Nope, that's not that. That's was that supposed to be C111? Okay, so that was supposed to be C111, but I did C211, which is fine, because I can just do this one here. C1314, C211 is right here. Great, got it. Got the piece I need. Yeah, I thought that episode was really fun. And now I'll talk to you a bit about episode 11 of Ranma 1/2. Obviously, we just had, this is moments after we had the legitimately accidental, because of scheming from Ryoga, kiss between Ranma and Akane, or sorry, between Ranma, male version, and Shampoo, and Akane is fucking pissed off about this shit. She's throwing something. She's mad. The dad shows up and gets filled in what's going on. And Kasumi is basically just like telling people what's up, and now lets a bunch of people who didn't know, or like whatever, oh yeah, well, they're engaged. And of course, Kasumi then says like, well, Ranma and Shampoo just kissed, and so I assume that means they're a couple. And that is just because she is a ball buster. She's just stirring up trouble. She's just making problems happen wherever she goes. Because that's not true, but of course, it's just meant to be annoying. Akane wants to end the engagement, which is on one hand completely understandable, and on the other hand, like, come on, you saw what happened there. Ranma didn't just immediately kiss this girl out of nowhere. Like, if that's your issue, like, there are other issues to have about this forced engagement between the two of you, but like, jealousy over shampoo seems wants to kill the female version of Ranma and doesn't know much about the male version of Ranma, but definitely wants to fucking kill the female version of her because Ranma-chan won a martial arts tournament. Let's see. Okay, so apparently, Shampoo is just like, hey, check this out. And she's got a book, the Chinese Amazon Sutra. And of course, like, apparently Nabiki can find a translation of it and does. And in this book, it says that if Shampoo, according to the rules, if Shampoo loses to a man, she has to marry that man. Which she didn't, but did she? But she didn't, but did she? And I guess she did technically get recently knocked out by Ranma, so I guess that could count as losing to him, and I guess, so who knows? Meanwhile, Akane is beating up a target dummy because she's just fucking pissed off. And kicks it, and then she kind of reflects on stuff that Ranma said during the martial arts skating rink thing. She follows Ranma. She hears Ranma, and she investigates secretly as he's talking to Shampoo about the homeland laws, and he's just like, I don't want to date you. I'm not interested in dating you. This is not something that I want to happen. And Shampoo doesn't understand what he's saying or what he means by that. And so Ranma does a little reflection. And then Ryoga splashes him with water, turning Ranma into a girl because he hasn't been a girl this episode. So it's high time that he's a girl because it's been a hot minute. It's been a couple minutes. He thinks that Akane is jealous of what's going on with Ranma. They throw water at each other. Ryoga falls into a pond. He turns into that, which of course turns him into a pig. And Ranma's just like, this isn't my fault that Akane is jealous. Like, I don't know what to tell you. Apparently, Akane put up Ryoga to fight on the roof. And Akane's like, no, I'm not upset with you because we're not engaged. So why would I be upset with you? Which is like, okay, all right. They're teens, sure. So she takes the pig and departs and leaves the conversation. Shampoo shows up and attacks Ranma because of course it's Ranma-chan. Later, Akane is looking for Pichan. And everybody knows that she's upset, and they're trying to be supportive because they know that she's kind of probably developed some feelings for Ranma, and it's a tough situation for her to be in. So they're trying to be supportive. And then Dad's just like, I would recommend honesty. And then she's immediately mad, and he immediately cries, and he's just like immediately emotionally a wreck because she was looked at him funny. He immediately was like, oh, my heart. Sorry, let's see here. Not to tear the stickers. We got some big stickers that have to go on here. I gotta build 2 of these and put on some big ass stickers. We're working on the shoulder thing here. Let me get what I need here, which is we're breaking into D. This is the DX set stuff here. These are our big ass weapons. I'm gonna have to get a standout because I bet when I put this backpack on and put these weapons on there, it's not gonna fucking work. I bet. Let's see. Ranma tries to talk to Akane, and she doesn't want to talk to him. So, Ryoga is also planning on leaving, apparently. And he has a classic anime and classic cartoon, Angel and Devil appearing, where they're kind of arguing with each other about what to do. Ryoga finally decides, I'm going to leave, but then he immediately trips and falls and gets splashed with water, and he turns into a pig. And then Shampoo finds the pig, and immediately in the next scene, Shampoo has arrived and is handing over Ranma a bento that she made for him. And you may have guessed this. It's a bunch of fruit and vegetables, and the star of the bento is Pichon, who is not dead. Hey, guess what? This anime did not kill one of the characters and turn him into dinner. He's alive. Ranma checks in on him, and then Pichon bites him, and then Akane happens to be there, and looks at and takes care of Pichon. Meanwhile, Shampoo marks Akane with the kiss of death, which Akane is just like, you want to fight me? Fine, I'll fucking fight you. Which is great, because this episode has not had any action. It's had some good comedy bits, hasn't had any action in it. Ranma tries to get in the way of the fight, break up the fight, but he gets knocked out, and he wakes up later, and he's trying to find out where they are. And this episode, you know this was based on a 90s anime or a 90s property, because he finds Akane lying on the ground, and he thinks the worst, and he calls out her name, and Akane wakes up, and he says, "Who are you?" And that's the end of the episode. Does she have amnesia? Has she blocked out the memory of Ranma? Did Shampoo do something weird to her? But apparently that fight didn't happen that long, but we don't really know what happened there. So you could argue, and I think rightfully so, you could argue that Shampoo feels like a little half-baked, like she has a lot going on because she's been toned down from being just like a complete dumbass. But because of that, there's not as much going on with her as there would you'd think there might be, and that can be rough. But overall, it's still really fun. It's still a great character, and I'm still really enjoying it. Okay, so this is oh man, okay. This didn't work right. Hold on. Okay. I bet this sticker is really gonna fucking annoy me. So I don't know how this operates. This sticker, I think, is supposed to like fold like this. End of the stream stickers are my nightmare, everybody. But we'll do our best. So basically, this is going to fold, and then the middle sticker is going to go along. Doesn't need to fold. That goes on the outside like that. This goes straight on the top of this. Like that. And then this goes. I'm not going to say I did this top sticker well, but I sort of know what it wants me to do. Oops. Come on. Okay. Yeah. This just has a lot of bends to it in ways that don't really work. It would have been nice if this piece of plastic was just gold, if the top of this thing was just a piece of gold plastic, instead of what we got, which is a weird long sticker with a split in it. But whatever. I don't need this to look exceptional. I just need it to work. You know what I mean? You know what I mean. Now is the part of the stream as I apply stickers here, which will probably be the rest of the stream here. I want to hear from you, friends. What are you watching right now? What are you playing? What are you up to? What are you into? I love hearing from you about any games or movies or TV shows, what you did this weekend. I always like to hear about what's going on with y'all. If you got stuff you're looking forward to this week, or if you're just on vacation or working your ass off, and this is just a little bit of a break, let me know. I love hearing from you about that kind of stuff. I'll tell you. So it fucking happened. I was listening to Remap Radio this weekend, and they had Austin Walker on. My dear friend Austin. He's been on the pod a couple times recently, but he was on the pod, and he and Kato were talking about Pokemon TCG Pocket, which I have not engaged with at all. And they were like, well, you know, it's got a really cool card opening animation. You get packs and you open up cards, and then you can get binders and digital binders and put those cards in there. And there's going to be trading, but there's trading right now. And then there's the gameplay, but it's not the TCG, it's a version of the TCG. And I was like, but the card animation, like the card opening, the pack opening is really good. And I was like, fuck, I'm gonna get this. And I started playing it. I have not done any battles yet. I have not built a deck. I don't know if I ever will. But every once in a while, I just open it and see if I can open a pack of cards. And sometimes, because it's early in the game, you know, I've opened a pack of cards and it gives me enough cards that I get rewards and like login bonuses and whatever. And I can like decrease the amount of time it takes to open up more packs. Have I spent any money on it yet? No. Do I plan to spend money on it? No. My hope is that I can go when I get sick of playing it, I will have not spent a dime on it and I will be free to play only. But hey, guess what, folks? It fucking feels great to open cards. You have your phone here and you do a swipe motion to open the top of the pack, and then the cards come out, and then they like flitter into your like Pokedex basically. And it feels fucking awesome. And you just like go through the cards. You can like, as you're swiping to look at the cards, you can kind of like feather it a bit to like check the edges to see if there's like a rare, and it feels fucking rad. It's great. They understand what they're doing. There's Wonder Trade stuff where you can like, you get like 5 options and you just pick one of them randomly, but somebody set it up and then you can give them a thank you. And of course, there's only a few icons you can pick to be your icon, and Snorlax is available. So I'm Snorlax, and I shouldn't keep playing it, and I'm definitely not going to put any money into it, but it is satisfying. It is another thing to do while I am on my exercise bike or when I'm walking, and I am looking for more of those things to do, because I hit a brick wall with the Match 3 game that I play that I've never put money in, and Pokemon Go is still good, but I don't have any quests I can actively work on right now, so I'm just doing Dynamax battles when I go on a walk, which is still very fun. The middle part of this sticker popped off, so I will have to fix that. This is supposed to be a 3-prong, and is now a 2-prong, but I think the prong fell off that is workable, so I think it'll be okay. Okay. Other than that, Hearthstone, playing Hearthstone. I'm working on a deck that just makes an impenetrable wall of 7/7 with taunt, that when you kill it, it makes either itself again or multiples of it. And it sucks to play against, kind of, but it's hard to pull off. It is a difficult to pull off combo. So, and you know, if your opponent has silence, you're kind of fucked, but there's ways around it because you can make multiple copies. It's pretty great. I've been playing it. It's not a good deck, but I'm having a lot of fun with it in Hearthstone, and that's all I want is decks that I can have fun with. So I've been playing that a bunch. Let's see. Other than that, what else have I been doing? I finished that. I think I maybe said that on Sunday or Saturday. I finished the ice rink stage in Power Wash Simulator, the free ice rink stage. So I finished that. And I don't have anything to do in Power Wash Simulator until they announce another either free or another paid pack. So I'm kind of just hanging out with that. But I will check back in when there's new stuff that I want to see in that game. We'll just get this sticker folded down here. What y'all have been saying. Lord Crashes says, I've been playing some Indiana Jones and I'm in the Vatican, where I'm trying to steal from fascists as much as I can while I'm not knocking them out. Hell yeah. Knock them out and steal from them. John says, been playing Disgaea 6 and just finished watching all of House. You finished your House. Nice. Also, hi, I'm John. Got some retro games from Japan and looking forward to those. Hell yeah, hell yeah, hell yeah. Estwild says, one of the guys at the game store talked me into finally watching Arcane. So I did that. I'm still not going to play League, but I was entertained. The animation was fantastic. Story was a little less so, in my opinion. Yeah. So I have started Arcane. I am not fully done with Arcane, but I have started it, and it does look really nice. Yeah, I think that's totally a fair assessment, that it's visually really, really compelling and cool to watch. But yeah, right now it's not like, I'm not like, oh, I can't wait to find out what happens next in it. You know, it's just more like, oh, well, we'll see. We'll see what's up. I hope the characters I like show up more. That kind of thing. That's kind of where I'm at. Let's see. Lashbrook says, I watched Gundam Seed Freedom without never watching Destiny or Seed. Okay. And based on that, it's bad enough. It's making me rethink how much I liked Seed. Oh, I watched Gundam Seed Freedom without never watching Destiny or seeing Seed. Based on that, it's enough to make me rethink how much I liked Seed. The character design are also bad. Oh, do you mean without rewatching Destiny? Lashbrook, that you watched this, but because I was like, wait, what? That you've seen the other ones, but you haven't rewatched them, and it's making you, like, the memories of it is making you like that less. Okay, I think I understand what you're saying, and I hear you. Sometimes that happens. I will say that I was a Seed hater. I eventually came around on it, but I started off as a big-time hater of Seed. I did not enjoy that anime at the time of its broadcast, but I have come around a bit on it. Yes. Okay. So yes, that's what you meant, Lashbrook. You didn't rewatch Seed before you watched the movie, and you've never seen Destiny. Okay. Yes. I eventually understood that's what you were saying. That you hadn't done a rewatch and you hadn't seen the sequel series before you watched the movie, and it made you question if you ever really liked it. John says, it's okay to knock out fascists in a video game. And that's true. That is true. There's a company in Japan that has a perfume for every character in Seed. Yeah, sure. Look, here's the thing. Seed was very popular. I think a lot of the mech design in Seed fucking owns. I think a lot of the mech design whips ass. But I also understand why some people are like, no fucking thank you. I'm not here for this. I'm not interested in that. And the character design, yeah, aren't particularly great. All right, so we still have more to do here with the backpack. But we are wrapping up this build for tonight. I am confident that on Saturday, on Thursday, what am I thinking? It's Monday. On Thursday, I will complete this kit. I'm confident that by the end of Thursday's stream, I will have finished all this up and probably started the next thing. So I'll do a poll for my $10 patrons about what to build next. I want to tell you that my next stream is tomorrow night at 9 p.m. Eastern as we prep for a raid, because we always end with a raid. We're going to go find someone doing cool shit out there that we want to go spend some time with and check them out. But yeah, my next stream will be me tomorrow at 9 p.m. Eastern playing a video game, because that's what I do on Tuesdays, is I do something that's not model kit building. And in this case, the thing that we'll be doing is checking out a demo for a game called, let me look up the name of this, for River Towns. The demo for River Towns. There's not a third word in there. I said that bad. I meant to say the River Towns demo, but I already said demo. You understand. You get it. But yeah, we're going to be checking out River Towns. It is a game that got announced the week of. It wasn't at the Game Awards, but it got announced during the week leading to the Game Awards. It is a tile placement game. It is a puzzle game. You are making like roads and connections and rivers to connect places. So it has a bit of a story, but it is also just mainly a tile placement game that looks gorgeous. I got the demo early, but I haven't been able to stream it yet. Now everyone can get the demo. But yeah, that there was like a wholesome direct kind of thing, and I got a bunch of emails for things, and this one is the one that seemed the most interesting to me. So we're gonna check out the demo. Will I use the full 2 hours for that demo? I don't know. I'll have something else to do in case that we finish it in like 20 minutes, but I believe it's a long demo. We're gonna raid. I hope you come along on this raid. We're gonna go hang out with Mary Kish. Mary Kish is currently playing Silent Hill 2, so that should be fucking fun. Come along on this raid. I'll see y'all next time. Come back tomorrow at 9 p.m. Eastern for a cool game. Bye, everybody. Goodbye, 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 goodbye.